Gabrielle, the author of The Power of Soul Loving, a spiritual guide to love and freedom. Following a significant life-changing experience, Rebecca was inspired to share the story of her spiritual journey and to help others discover how to navigate the challenging path of personal transformation and soul growth. In The Power of Soul Loving, Rebecca shines a light on how to face our fears, manage the discomfort of change, and use the soul's transformative power to unveil a life of true love. To tell us more here at the State Library of New South Wales, please welcome Rebecca Gabrielle.
Thank you so much, Tim, for that lovely introduction. And Jane, thank you so much for allowing us all to have a voice here today. I am so inspired by everybody's story so far. It really is amazing. Everybody having the courage to stand up here and say their bit. So, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am obviously an author like all of you. I'm also a spiritual guidance coach and very, very passionate about teaching people what it means to love and to spiritually grow. Since I was very young, as a child, I knew I had the ability to connect with spirit and the divine. I was able to see people's soul, which meant that I got an inkling as to where they were on their spiritual pathway. So let's fast track to adult life. After many years of feeling quite restless in my life, as if something was missing, very vital at a soul level, I made a very scary and courageous decision to move away from my life, but more importantly, to move toward my soul purpose. Now, I now recognise that that was the start of my spiritual pilgrimage. It was a very challenging time, an intense time of personal transformation for me. But somewhere in the ups and the downs, in the tears and in the relief, I was told by the divine to write a book, my first book. Now, I hadn't planned to do this at all. I was barely coping with the changes that I was going through. I was in survival mode. However, I had always known since I was a child that this moment in my life was going to come and that someday I would write a book. So, The Power of Soul Loving was birthed over a couple of years. Every day I went to the beach to write. I sat in nature, which is where I feel all that inspiration come to me. And it was there that I dived deep into explore my spiritual transformation toward love and freedom. You know, it was like what we all recognise as that dark night of the soul. Now, I don't want to sound stereotypical, but it really was a time of deep reflection for me. But it wasn't all dark and dreary and gloomy. Actually, I loved being in that space. And a lot of my friends would say to me when I was writing my book, oh my goodness, you're getting up so early in the morning and doing all that writing, isn't that really hard to do? And I'd say, are you kidding me? I love this. I am in a state of bliss. Why? Because I got an opportunity for me to go within to connect with myself and to connect with spirit. I'm highly intuitive. I come from a family who are very strong in terms of their psychic abilities. So a lot of my book was channeled. And what I mean by that, I was able to receive a lot of the messages spiritually downloaded to me. That's why I was in a state of bliss. It was amazing. So I came to realise during that process of writing my book that this was going to become a spiritual guide to help people understand the pathway to divine love and spiritual freedom, what that meant. I knew my purpose was to help others make sense of what feels like an impossible journey when we go through darkness to enlightenment. And this is how my book came to be, a spiritual guide to love and freedom. So what's it all about? Well, this book is for anyone who's going through significant transformation in their life. It's a map to light the way from darkness of despair, isolation and confusion, to lightness, where we feel free to be ourselves, to love and accept ourselves completely and wholly, in a way that we've never experienced before. It's going to help you understand the transformation process, what to expect and how to experience fulfillment in life. It's going to help you to discover what wholeness and wellness means for you. And can this be achieved, not in spite of your circumstances, but because of them? People often hear me talk about the necessity to have contrasts in life. Without the contrasts, we can't possibly know the difference between sorrow and joy, darkness and light. Now, after this year, we all know how seriously challenging times can be. There are moments that we've probably all felt some level of despair and perhaps even denied some of the awful things that have been going on this year. But at the same time, there have been incredible moments of joy where we've found value and meaning in our experiences. Significant change in our life can come when we experience illness. Maybe the death of someone that we know and love. It may be in the loss of a relationship with someone dear to us. It could be financial hardship. It could be in a number of things. These events can be the catalyst for us to sit back and go, whoa, I need to reassess my identity. I need to understand what's my purpose in life. And to question my values. Have they changed? Well, of course they've changed. You know, the values that we had when we were a young adult are no longer the same as today. Our priorities have changed. We've evolved as people. When the moment comes of that change in our life, we're usually not prepared to know how to deal with it, how to understand it. And we don't really know how to go through it. So in the midst of what I call the storm, do we know what outcome we want? Do we know what we're even aiming for when we're going through that storm? Or are we just trying to survive? So our life changes physically for us. Shit happens. We're going to be affected. We're going to be affected mentally, and that means the way we think about things, what we choose to believe. We're going to be affected emotionally. You know, when we're struck with incredible change in our life and we're taken by surprise, those emotions that well up do surprise us and they can overwhelm us. Those emotions tell us a little bit about how we are interpreting our world and what's going on for us. In those moments, we can also lose sense of our identity. Who am I now? And our spirituality. Who we know ourselves to be at our very core. And what that means to us in our life now, but also who we are beyond this physical life. Without some sense of preparation for those moments, without experience or tools to help us navigate that transformation, we can feel incredibly lost, isolated, confused. It can feel like we've been tossed into a storm where our inner compass has been permanently altered. And perhaps we may believe we're never going to find our true north again. Well, I'm here to say there is help and there is a way to navigate the storm and a way to live with so much freedom that life becomes so clear, simple, and incredibly powerful. So how does this book help you? And I recognise that not everybody's into spirituality, but I have to say this is very, very simple guide. When we realise that we're in deep doo-doo and in serious pain in our life, this is when we know deep in our soul and we so want to feel better. We so want to be better and experience a life that is way more fulfilling with way more meaning. We don't want a life of despair. We don't want a life of just mediocrity. This is when we make that decision to get out of the pain. When we say, I have so had enough of this, I'm out. It's when we finally listen to that inner voice that's been tapping away what I call our higher self, our soul. And you know what? We've probably been hearing it for quite some time and very skillfully ignoring it. Real transformation can only happen when we take serious action in our life. It's the only way it can be different. So isn't it funny that we put off this change or transformation for so long, and why do we do it? So the book highlights the common experiences you're likely to go through. It provides spiritual insights and guidance on how to create holistic wellness and a life that is inspired, connected, and authentic to you. The wisdom in these pages will help you make sense of the changes that are going on and give you ways to transform how you think, what you believe about yourself, and how to make better choices in simple and practical ways without the spiritual jargon. It contains soul lessons from relatable experiences and beautiful insights from sages that are well known in our lifetime. I've woven into the pages reflections and meditations to use in your own time so you can explore and reflect and apply what you've learned along the way. The premise of the book, of course, is that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We may have different backgrounds, we may have different landscapes in our life, but you know what? We're all the same at the soul level. We are all on this earth to learn, to change, and to grow. Yeah, it can be hugely uncomfortable. We don't always know how to get through it. But when we accept all parts of ourselves and we love ourselves without the conditions, then we can create power to live an inspired life. This book is not a biography. It is not a prescription for how to live your life, nor is it a quick fix guide, thank you. It's comprehensive, and it's written as you would expect to evolve through the transformation process. You can choose to read it in one go, or you may actually just pick a topic and focus on that, whatever you're resonating with at the time. Soul growth and transformation takes time. There's a lot of inner work to do, and it takes personal commitment. So I ask all of you, if you don't commit to you, who will? How will you feel in 12 months, in 3 years or 5 years, if you don't make yourself a priority today? Finally, I'd like to share with you 5 key messages that I've incorporated into the book. And if you don't think it's too nerdy, write it down. Number 1, choose to believe in yourself. This is your life. It's up to you to create the life that you want to have. You are no better or worse than the next person. You have all you need to be your best and to live to your potential. There is no place here for self-judgment, only love. Number 2, choose to love and accept all of you. The good, the bad, the everything in between. For your wholeness. Choose trust over the need to control. Choose love over fear. 3, don't give up. Now I know all of you and you know that message very well. Yeah, you. Commit to you. You are a priority in this life. No one and nothing else can do this for you. Your commitment is a mental decision and then a choice from the heart and soul. Acknowledge the fear. We are human. It's there to help you. Release the attachments, the illusions, and your stories that are holding you back, and embrace the soul lessons. They are there to teach you and transform you. And you are not alone. We are all in this together. We know this. You also have the support of the divine, whether you know that or not, and the many earth angels that we sometimes fail to see. Number 4, do what it takes. Do what it takes to heal, to understand the barriers to loving yourself. Embrace your soul power to love, to be love, to give love and receive love. As you do, you will set yourself free. Connect with your truth, the real and authentic you. Ask for guidance and help when you need it. Remember, we are all a work in progress. There is no perfection here. And do what it takes to know yourself. Explore, discover, and then release. Explore your uniqueness, your creativity. This is how we connect with our spirituality. Discover your power within and create with the Spirit. And finally, number 5, know you are making a difference. As you commit to your personal and spiritual transformation, you become a light to others. You help others to see that they too can heal, grow and shine, just like you. Do what you love in life, what you're passionate about. Use your gifts and talents and experience to grow and to teach others. This is your soul purpose. To be the best of you, to grow spiritually, and to walk with others as a beacon of light, love, and inspiration. Understand that your energy, your intentions, and your actions bring more love into this world, or can cast a shadow. So finally, I'd like to say, the power of soul loving is how we transform our life, so that we are living with way more vibrance, purpose, passion, and love. There is never a time we are not changing, evolving, or growing. If you want to truly make a difference and transform in a way that brings you greater sense of peace, clarity, and fulfillment, then this book is for you. Go be you, do you, and love your life. So that's it from me. If you would like to know a little bit more about me, as I'm sure all of you would have, a little bit about something of yourself on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, just look up Living with Spice. So I do have my book published, and I'm really happy about that, and I did manage to publish that last year, so it is available on my bookstores. Thank you so much.